The idea is just to roll, but
go for it.
We'll go for it. Hey, I'm Todd Jones with Teton Gravity Research, and I'm here with Jeremy Jones, the 8-time Big Mountain Rider of the Year. How you doing, man?
Doing well. How you doing?
Good, thanks. So, yeah, we just wanted to kind of rap with you about snowboarding and POW and a bunch of different things. So, why don't you tell us about how you started snowboarding?
How I started snowboarding? I started on golf courses in Massachusetts, riding with this guy. You know how I started, but yeah, golf courses. Our big hill that if I could get a ride to is the Jailhouse Hill, a couple hundred vertical feet, and just doing the back hill scene, and then slowly progressing, and then at I think after about 4 years of that, it was open. Stowe, our home mountain, was open to snowboarding, and then that's when it really got full on. So back in the day, you used to have to get certified to ride, and you'd go up with an instructor. He'd look at your ride, and then he'd say, okay, you're cool, here's your little certification pass. And I was so jacked up to ride that I was actually the first guy to get certified at Stowe, because it was first day of the year. As soon as they opened the doors, I was standing there ready to get certified. But one really cool thing about back then with snowboarding, as you said, you know, how did I find people to ride with? I mean, I didn't know that many people, and there just wasn't that many snowboarders. But back then, if you ran into a snowboarder, you were instantly bros, and you were going riding together. So it would be, you know, by the end of the day, the 4 snowboarders that were on that mountain that day would end up all being in a pack and ripping around. So it was a really open, friendly world, and it was a trip, because literally every day we'd go out, we'd learn something new.
From an early stage, you embraced racing, which is kind of an unorthodox component of snowboarding these days, but at the time, you know, what did racing give you, and why'd you go that route?
Well, back in the day, they'd have contests, and there'd be a half pipe and a race, and so I started competing, and everyone did everything back then, and I excelled further in racing. At 16, I went to my first pro contest, and I actually went there, and just like all the other contests I ever went to, I did the half pipe and I did the race. But it was expensive to enter these events. It was $125 per discipline, and at that point, my first pro contest, I won money in it. In the race, I didn't win money in the half pipe, and after a couple events of winning money racing, not winning money in the half pipe, it just got to a financial deal. It was like I couldn't roll out the entry fees for half pipe, and then you know, I kind of just took it from there, and racing was a means to get me around the world, and see the world, and kind of somewhat pull it as a pro snowboarder. You moved pretty quickly in your snowboard career into big mountain riding. What inspired that, and what was the transition like from racing to big mountain riding? Well, I mean, from the get-go, it was always about riding the whole mountain, doing everything, and then I started racing, and you know, and got into this really closed world of racing to try and excel in it. But I always had a free ride set up whenever, it would, you know, as soon as I could get done with the race, it was off free riding. So it was always hand in hand, but for a long time, free riding was just you know, for personal stuff, which it still is. And the cool thing is, like, now where I'm at with snowboarding is I really am back to, it's come full circle, because back in the day, I mean, my first 5 years snowboarding were all hiking, and now that's where a lot of my focus is just away from the resorts, away from people, and just I love the solitude of the hiking, and I love riding POW.